Hello, everybody. Charles Cook back in the office from Denver and the annual conference of the American Immigration Lawyers Association. It's great to be with you today. We're going to be talking some really interesting stuff today. Some very interesting things that are happening right now that I think are, frankly, kind of loco, as they say in the old country. Before we get started, just remind you, if you need to reach me, call me here, 404-816-8611 for a consult, or you can email me. I answer all my emails, just me. I don't use an AI, it's just me. Happy to help, or follow me on the Twitter machine. Give me a like. Thank you very much. Let's look at some questions that we have here about what's going on. Let's start with our main litigation on SEVIS and the seventh litigation. So the government and I are settling the impact litigation. We're settling the case as it pertains to the SEVIS revocation part of ICE. We are dismissing the visa revocation part of the case against the Department of State, and we will be pursuing that separately in about 3 weeks in the District Court of Washington, D.C. for a variety of purposes, including we could get this issue resolved quickly, whereas the visa revocation issue is going to take time. My guess, several months. It's not going to be immediate. I know everybody had their visa canceled, revoked, wants to go home, or they left the country against advice or with advice that was bad advice, and they want to be able to come back to the United States. You're going to have to wait. I mean, this is going to take some time, but we're going to be adding plaintiffs besides the ones we already have. That'll be up on the, that's going to be up on the Impact Litigation website. That's right here. So you can go to this website here, and this will be up on Monday. It'll be up on Monday to sign up for the new litigation on visa cancellation. Now, as far as what we're getting, look, all our clients are restored, which, of course, we forced them to do for everybody, but we had one person who hadn't been restored yet. So they're all getting restored perfectly fine. They're getting a letter, personal letter from ICE that says you were never out of status. The revocation it never happened. Everything's activated back to the original date. Their database supposedly can't fix the visual, but with the letter, you'll find you've never been out of status. And no, we cannot demand money from the government for making a mistake. Unfortunately, that's not an option. So that's called a Divens action, not available to us. So you're out of luck on that. I'm really, really sorry. But you'll be able to use this letter for USCIS request for evidence. Should get the letter within a week or so of us settling the lawsuit. Some have already gotten letters because they've gotten down in front of this. Also, the stuff they found in the NCIC search that led to the revocation cannot be used against them to find you out of status again, because you're not. And they also cannot use this information, their visa revocations, to put you in removal proceedings. There are 14 things that we're getting, some of which we didn't even know about when we started the lawsuit, but which we found out later. So we're very happy for our plaintiff. All 358 of our plaintiffs will benefit from this. The class action component is being dismissed because we wouldn't be able to resolve this in a class action within months. And we need to get our plaintiffs taken care of. They were the most, as we promised them, the most important. Probably going to file the visa revocation again as class action, but again, plaintiffs always come first. So actual plaintiffs that hire us, and those individuals in the SEVIS case that had visas revoked, they are not being charged for this new litigation, but we're going to add anybody else that wants to put in. You can be in the United States, you can be outside the United States. All right, that's the revocation stuff. You also should know that the Trump administration is playing games on the student visa issue in the following way. So as you know, you probably all know, Harvard has been suing the government because Trump wanted to stop Harvard from using student visas. Harvard has about a 27% student visa, foreign students in their student body, which is a lot of students. Not the highest number by far, but a substantial number. The Trump administration, in a policy announcement last week, said when beginning the process to issue student visas to foreign nationals, that they should do that with heightened scrutiny and heightened social media. Make sure you don't have any bad stuff on your social media, including apparently a picture of a bald J.D. Vance. All right, get that off of there. don't just delete your social media because that's not going to help you. But you can delete the crappy stuff you should have put up in the first place. You want to be a student here, and you save that time when you're a citizen. You can do it when you're a citizen. Anything you want. You've got the issue of this policy saying, look, consulates, I know you're really busy. So if somebody comes to you and they're going to be a student at a university where more than 15% of the student body are foreign students, don't do them. Do them later if you can. No rush to do them. That's illegal, by the way. That's quite illegal. So we're likely going to sue over that too. So if you are a foreign student who has been you've applied for a visa and they're just not interviewing you, or you went in and they're not approving you, they're just sitting on it, you need to let us know because we're going to be collecting plaintiffs on that and suing them because that's illegal. They cannot discriminate depending on where your school you're going to. They just can't do that. They think they can, but they can't. So we're going to sue them and we're going to win because that's what we do. I really wanted to talk also about DACA. And let you know that last week, a group of 40 congressmen and senators wrote a letter to DHS saying, why aren't you resuming DACA? Now, the reason we're not resuming DACA is because the case is still pending. It was remanded back to the district court judge. Now, they could resume if they want to. We know what the result's going to be. But that Judge Hannon is sitting on this order. I don't know why. Maybe he doesn't like DACA. As long as he sits on it, and you can't really force him to do it, as long as he sits on it, the USCIS will take the position they don't have any authority, that his original stay is still in place until he issues what's called the mandate, the end of the case. So that would exclude all Texas folks from renewing their DACAs or applying for new DACAs, whereas the rest of the country can apply for new DACAs, and the 90,000 that are sitting there can be adjudicated, and renewals can occur, as well as advance paroles. Now, we've always talked about this. They can cancel advance paroles. They can cancel issuing them. They can't, if you have an advance parole, you can use it. And there is zero. I heard the other day somebody was told by a CBP officer, you got to travel quick. They might cancel. You'll be stuck out of the country. That's not true. That's legally not true. You will be allowed back in the United States. They don't cancel. They will end the issuance of new ones, maybe, but they will not affect you. So you're fine. You're fine. But if you've got DACA, I talked to people this week so far that didn't know about advance parole. What hole are you hiding in? People, come on. If you've got friends that have DACA that don't have a legal entry, tell them to do advance parole. We're doing lots of green cards for these folks to do advance parole who are married to citizens who have children turning 21. And there's a lot of DACA recipients with children who are turning 21. So please, that's kind of the status of DACA. I won't answer any questions about this in the question section because I'm addressing it here quite thoroughly. Just got to wait. Got to wait a little bit longer. This next week, the Supreme Court, if they don't do it tomorrow, well, how ironic would be if they do it the week of July 4th? Wouldn't that be ironic? Are we going to issue a decision on the Trump birthright citizenship case? Now, that case has two components, so that you know, two parts. One is the part of his executive order saying that anybody born in the United States to parents who are either undocumented or on visas, who, in other words, who aren't residents or citizens, they're not citizens. Now, that contradicts 150 years of case law and, frankly, the entire Constitution of the United States, as every judge that's heard the case has found. But that's what he did. The other part of the case, though, was the nationwide injunction. And, frankly, at oral argument, the government lawyer, frankly, couldn't even substantiate the Trump case. But he focused on, hey, yeah, it might be illegal, but everybody's got to sue individually, which is nuts on something like this. I get it that you don't want to have nationwide injunctions, but trust me, Republicans use nationwide injunctions to stop a lot of things, including Biden's forgiveness of student loans. So, what's good for the goose, good for the gander kind of thing. Be careful what you ask for. Maybe they think they're never going to be out of power. Who knows? Who knows what the crazies are thinking in MAGA? But what we need to be focused on is it's coming up next week, and we'll see what happens. We'll go live. As soon as the decision is issued, I will go live and talk about it. And I believe the Supreme Court's going to rule against Trump administration on both because they should. But as we all know, just because they should do something doesn't mean that they will. The last thing I want to talk about this week before we get to questions is a bond. There's a lot of people getting picked up by ICE. And frankly, remember, if ICE is out there in your neighborhood, you should video them. Video them and post video live. Get it live. Find out what ICE is doing. They're just, now, keep in mind, they're only doing this in places within 100 miles of the border. There's a policy or a Supreme Court case that says that the Fourth Amendment doesn't apply to CBP or ICE for immigration enforcement within 100 miles of the border. I know that sounds nuts to you, and like 70% of America lives within 100 miles of the border, but that's not Atlanta. Atlanta is more. So we're not seeing any of this where they're just going up to a landscaper and demanding papers. They can do that. Now, what is your response? I'm not answering your questions. You have no legal obligation to answer a question from ICE if you're not sitting at a border. To answer it. Just you have a right to remain silent. Remain silent, people. Use your rights. Apréndase sus derechos. Quédate callado. Remain silent. If for some reason you want to talk, you say, I would like a lawyer. Call me up for an appointment for the lawyer, but I'm not going to talk to you. They ask for papers and you're not sitting at a port of entry, refuse to give them papers. They might still arrest you. Keep quiet. Now, you're in ICE detention. Can you get out? Can you get a bond? Yes. Many people can, but many people can't. So if you came into the United States in the last 2 years, so less than 2 years ago, even if you came in under parole, you cannot get bond. There's no bond. There's nothing. The only thing you can do is say you're afraid to go back home, and they will have to have a credible fear hearing for you. If you pass credible fear, you will stay detained until an immigration judge hears your case. Could be many months, just one. If you came in more than 2 years ago and you came in illegally, you can get bond. If you came in more than 2 years ago and you were released from custody, you might not be able to get a bond. There's a new case called Matter of Q. Lee, or Q. Lie, not really quite sure how you say it, that basically limits bond depending on the proceedings you were put into. So if you were given expedited removal, you don't get bond. If you're put into regular removal proceedings, you get bond. So only a lawyer is going to be able to figure this out. So make sure that your family knows a lawyer to call. At least if you're in Atlanta and in the Georgia, Tennessee, Carolinas area, that's us. So just understand, if you do get arrested and you are eligible for bond, you have to prove two things. One, that you're not a flight risk. One, that you're not a danger to the community. Now, if you have a criminal conviction, you're not getting out. Okay, you're not getting out. Criminal conviction, not getting out. If you don't, that makes you deportable. Some convictions don't make you deportable. If you have the issue of that you didn't show up for prior hearings, you're not getting out. If you have a removal order, you're not getting out. So flight risk, danger to the community. So you want to show that you're a good person, right? You paid your taxes. You lived here, 10 years of taxes, or whatever you happen to have. You want to prove that you have kids here, so birth certificates. You want to prove you're married to a citizen or a resident. You get your marriage certificate. You want to prove that you have a job. You get a letter from your employer, or you get evidence of your work. If you got a house, you get the deed for the house. If you got a car, you put the card title. You paid your bills. You want all this evidence to show that you have no reason to run, that you have no reason not to show up, and that you're not a danger to anybody. And that request is made to the immigration court where you're detained. Now, sometimes it's hard to find out where you're detained because they're playing whack-a-mole with new detainees these days at ICE. That's filed with the judge, and usually within 7 to 14 days, you will have a hearing in front of an immigration judge. The judge may deny bond. The judge may request a $1,500 bond, which is minimum, or they could say $1 million bond. They don't usually do that, but and you have to pay that bond in cash. It's cash bond. There are bonding companies, but they're kind of a ripoff. So if you do the cash bond, that's your best option. That's how you request a bond from immigration custody, usually through your family on the outside. All right, let's. We got 40 questions. Oh my gosh. Let's take a look here. We got Luis. Good to see you. How are you doing? Angélica, ¿cómo te va? Gusto en verte. Eloise Velasquez, nice to see you again. Roughly how much do you charge for advance parole? We never talk money on our lives, ever. We just don't, because every case is different. But you can email me. If you email me, I will answer it. I'll put my email up again at the end here. Edgar, when should we expect the decision? Already answered that. I expect it by August, personally. Buenas tardes, abogado. Tengo DACA y una entrada legal. Con DACA, mi hijo tiene 29. Puede pedirte a los 20 años. Your son can sponsor you at 21 years of age. Luis, nice to see your question. I'm DACA recipient in LA. If I was stop by, so if you, oh no, you have LA. You should show me your work permit. Sure, I have DACA. You can always refuse to answer, but sometimes it's better to answer in that case because you're legal. All right, so I'm legal. I've got DACA. Ivan Sosa, submitting advance parole Friday. They go, well, I don't know if it'll be good. I haven't seen your paperwork, but they're granting advance parole. Have a great time. Have a great time. Ice Queen. The Ice Queen. I got it. Very queen. Very, very, very clever. I am Doc. I'm going to cut you to me a no for P. No. So do you need dental work? You can do humanitarian work. Does your church go? The Dreamers Together Facebook page, Dreamers 2, number 2 together. Go there. They do a great job on advance parole. They organize trips for humanitarian work, which you can go to. You can get medical work yourself, dental work yourself. If you have a job, maybe you're a nurse. Well, there's an international nursing conference. You can apply to go to that. It's not just because grandpa's sick. There's lots of options. The Ice Queen. Mary Cruz, if we are outside, if you get revoked, yes, you will be able to come back. I promise you. Call me and you're coming back. Go like. Oh, cool. Deanna, okay, does anyone need to go with you on your, you should 100% have a lawyer sitting with you at your interview. And that lawyer should be providing additional documentation from outside sources to sustain your claim of asylum. Yes, absolutely have a lawyer with you at the interview. Andres, when are we going to lawsuit with pending DACA? There is no lawsuit, Andres. There is no lawsuit to file. Wait until DACA is resolved by the judge. Good afternoon. Say to the judge, yeah, you can. The border, this rumor that I heard this week, the borders are not closing on July 1st. No, really. Even Trump is not that stupid. Okay, Trump is that stupid, but he's not going to do it. All right, it's not going to happen. Courts would overturn that right away. No, safe to travel. You're fine. Tell everybody you know that's a lie. I don't know where that started, but it's a lie. Margot, good to see you. Hopelessly devoted. So any updates on gnats? Oh, gnats are flying right. Naturalization cases, 3 to 6 months in many places. Even though you go online, it's like 2 years. 3 to 6 months. They're like popping them out like pancakes here on a Lions Day breakfast event. Los Casa Recompensas tienen la misma droga que ICE. Los Casa Recompensas. Lo siento, Martín, no tengo ninguna idea de lo que es una Casa Recompensas. Okay. Carlos, afternoon, counselor. Can you please qualify for false rumors? Yes, it's false, Carlos. It's false. The border is not closing on July 1st. It is not happening. No rational person believes that. Get off of social media. Really. Oh, my God. Can we write to the judge? You can write to the judge. I don't think it does any good. I mean, honestly, he doesn't even read the mail. I mean, it's read by a clerk. So I don't think it really matters. Good question, Vanessa. Also, head of Dreamers Together. Hello, attorney. I have TPS, which runs 3 weeks. Yes, you can be detained. You can absolutely be detained. If you're afraid of going back to your home country, you should file for asylum. Thank you. I keep telling people once you have AP, you have legal. Yes, that's exactly right, Ramrod. Gabriela Martinez. There should be any worry for someone going to a residency interview, getting a green card for a child in military with no criminal. No, you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. Golden. With the Supreme Court decision on deportation to third countries due process over with. Well, it turns out that decision is unclear. It's unclear. The judge, the district court judge whose case was overturned, actually said, no, I don't think they overturned my decision, and Trump is going back to the Supreme Court. Well, I think what I concluded the Supreme Court did was rule, from my reading, that a district court cannot say to ICE, generally, you always have to have in every case due process to a third country. That's what I think they said. But what that means in the alternative is that those 8 men who were sitting at an airport in Djibouti, is that how you say it? Djibouti, they do get due process. It's just the rest of people don't. So what they're saying, every person has to sue individually to get the due process. So what we're telling people, my advice is, if you're in custody and you are afraid that you might not be sent to your home country, you should, as soon as you find out you're moving, you need to call your lawyer and file a motion to reopen an immigration court and a habeas case. So I'm afraid to go back to open it up. I'm afraid to go back to his home country and request to stay and also do a habeas. A lot more work. But you know what? Supreme Court's like that these days. Araba, good to see you. Se sabe algo TPS Honduras? No sé nada ahorita, Bessie. Don't know anything about TPS Honduras as of right now. If a child is placed in foster care, can't they be adopted by a citizen? They can be adopted by a citizen, but they have to be tried. Typically, that has to be done through the adoption system, and through if it's a Hague country, the country itself has a chance to get the kid back. So it just depends. But generally, yeah, it's possible. Carla Lopez, thank you so much. You're welcome. Lourdes, a mi hijo se le vence DACA febrero 2026. Vivimos en Texas. Cambio de abogados, Lourdes. Its lawyers are refusing to file a renewal until October. Fire your lawyers, get new lawyers. File it now. Ponga la extensión ahorita. Vaya con otro abogado. Vaya con Dreamers Together. Ellos le ayudan. Shan Ostis, a friend of mine got approved for a U visa a couple of years ago. Previously overstayed his visitor visa. When he applied, I denied it. There's no. Oh yeah. Well, no inadmissibility could be overcome. Well, the U visa is a status, so he's back in status. So the fact he overstayed is irrelevant. And yeah, I don't. In my opinion, Shan, I would not let my client travel on advance parole. In that situation, I would just wait till they have their green card. In my opinion, that's what I would do. Generally speaking, take it for what it's worth. Free advice. Well, no están aceptando extensiones. She asked if you can apply for a Honduran TPS extension when it ends July 5th. The answer is no. There is no extension. They have to authorize extensions. They'll just keep the money and deny it. Conditional green card expires July 30th. What would be the best time to come to question? You contact us about 110 days before. 110 days before, Johnny Gutierrez. Lourdes Ramirez Dominguez y lo diría que renovara nada yeah, nothing's changed. Always renew your DACA a year early. Attorney, se les digo cuando si soy detenido por ICE, yo tengo DACA. If you have DACA, you will not be detained by ICE. And if you are, you call me, we'll get you out right away. You're not going to be detained by ICE if you have DACA, unless you commit a crime. Then of course, you will be. We got an RFE for EB2 and for AOS. What do we need to? I don't know. I haven't seen your request for evidence. And this is why I never file an adjustment application with an NIW. I don't know why you did that. Bad idea. You want to hire us? What you do, you call us for an appointment. I'll put the number up here in a second, and we'll be happy to help. Bernie Gonzalez, can I renew my DACA if I'm falsely accused of I'm fighting and hoping to get it renewed? Dude, you need to file the renewal. It'll take them a while to get to you, and hopefully you've resolved that. You need to get a really good criminal lawyer, get that dismissed as soon as possible. Yeah, because you're not going to get it renewed while it's pending. You can file for renewal, but you can't get it renewed. I would renew it and check. I assume you were arrested by the police, and then they'll do an RFE in 2, 4, 6, or 8 months. Hopefully, by then you've resolved the issue. Shannon Austin, a friend of mine, got approved for. Oh, you already asked that question. Any suggestions on attorneys to call in South Texas? South Texas, Jody Goodwin is the goddess of immigration lawyers in South Texas. Jody Goodwin, Goodwin. She is the best. I mean, really, if I was in South Texas, I'd hire Jody Goodwin. She's fantastic. I heard that only one consul in each country can approve green cards. That's typically true. They'll move it. They'll move it to New Jersey. They'll move it to the other consulate. Don't worry about that. Sorry, you were Crystal. I was. Oh, you saw me there. Well, you should have said hello. Why didn't you say hello? It was awesome. Carmen Rosa Marzano, hola. Doctor, mi hijo tiene DACA, está esperando Advance Parole y es soltero mayor de edad. Me pregunta si mi hija ciudadana le pide a su hermano cuánto demora. Señora, demora 25 años. Y si mi esposo le pide cuánto demora la espera por mi hijo, es como 17 años si son mexicanos. So she's asking, her son has DACA. He's going to do advance parole. How long will it take for his citizen sister to get him a green card? And so that will take 25 years because that's how long sibling positions take. And how long will his resident dad take to get him a green card? That's about 17 years if dad's a Mexican. I mean, less if you're not Mexican. Rosa, can a DUI of over 20 years ago make someone deportable? No, it cannot. Margot Miranda, si mi sobrina llegó a los 4 años, se casó con un verano, solo que DACA está escolar, tendrá problemas si hacer. No tendrá ningún problema. Tiene que ser el perdón. Okay. I have an order of removal in absentia. I have 212 and I-130 approved. Soon I will travel. Can I do AOS? Yes. As soon as you get back, you do your AOS. If you got your so you got your 212 approved without leaving the country. Is that right, Katie? It's great news. Congratulations. Tengo 212 aprobada. Estoy esperando la 601A. Si agrego el apellido de mi esposo, mi nombre, tengo que ver. No tiene que avisar inmigración. Estás bien. Hey, Charles, I just had my I-130 approved. Waiting to hear back from Walla. Walla will get back to you. Congratulations, Andre. How long did it take? Just curious. Hello, the GOP's DOI bill passed out, was never taken up in Senate. It's back in. It's not going to pass. It's not going to pass the Senate. I really don't think so. Perla Galorasa, too many of those senators have DUIs. I'm married to a citizen. I currently have DACA. I'd like to apply for AP. You will be fine. You'll be fine. Really, Perla, get the advance parole, go, come back and get a green card. You got to let go of your feelings. Fear leads to hate. Hate leads to the dark side. Or something like that. What is it? Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to fear. Fear leads to the dark side. Or something like that. Have no fear. Have no anger. Have no hate. Apply for advance parole. Travel. You'll be just fine. You're going to have a great time. And you go, why didn't I do this years ago? Una vez aprobada mi 601A, puedo recibir todas las vacunas y mismo antes de salir para you can recibirlo aquí, no tiene que hacerlo allá. Felicidades. How long is VAWA cancellation? Well, that depends on your judge. Oh, if they're detained, depend on the court, but probably less than 6 months, probably 4 months. Do you have reps in Houston? No, I do not. We're nationwide out of Atlanta. I have a really good friend who's a great immigration lawyer in Houston, Robert Lofgren, incredible, really great. And Foster Global is a law firm, really, really good. I have a pending removal since I was 10. So you actually have a removal order. You have an in absentia removal order. All right, Joel. Well, you can get that reopened if you got a reason to do so. Carla Lopez. So what if they detain somebody? The only thing he has is domestic violence. If somebody has a conviction for domestic violence, they are gone. That in and of itself is a deportable offense. They're gone. That's it. I can't help them. There's no waiver. Don't beat your wife. Don't beat your husband. Terrible idea. Mean to say you think it'll be okay leaving this? Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I really do think it'll be fine. Even if you're in Texas, you'll be fine. Maria, los residentes legales puedes salir del país. Arregle por medio. Yeah, tú puedes salir. Maria, she's a permanent resident. She's afraid to go. Go. Viájese, tendrás un excelente tiempo. Luis Chavez, thank you for my questions. Mr. Charles, excited to get my AP approved. Yes, you're going to have a great time. Well, we're happy to help you, Luis. Thank you very much. Lourdes, DACA se renueva y para que busques abogado para la renueva que es su hijo, para que la renueve el mismo, mis sobrinos, ellos mismos renueven sin abogado. ¿Pueden renovar DACA sin abogado? No, es muy fácil hacerlo online. Casi siempre recomiendo que lo haga. When they start processing an application for DACA, I don't know. There's always a risk of denial in everything. I mean, there's nothing in life without risk. But if you don't apply, how are you going to know? What's the risk? Attorney, I have TPS endorsed for 3 weeks. I buy my donation of my U visa. Show ICE your work permit, although they are detaining people in those circumstances. They don't recognize that anymore. I think we can win that in court, though. And we got Sean Ostis. Friend of mine got approved for a U visa a couple of years ago. Visa. Oh, you already asked that question. What if someone had a prior deportation when they were a child, wanted to do advance parole? They can go. Fine. They'll be okay. If you have DACA, you're fine. What's up with advance parole? It's still up. Thumbs up for advance parole. Here we go. Thumbs up for advance parole. You can do it with DACA. You're welcome, Diana. We've got Bessie. ¿Se puede aplicar por antes de 5? No, you already asked that question. Casa recomienzas means casa. Oh, bounty hunters. Bounty hunters, you don't have to answer any questions from those guys. None. Just remain silent. If they pick you up, just don't resist. Just sit there. And they can do what they have. I mean, that's why you want a lawyer to be able to call. Make sure you get a lawyer you can get on speed dial. Your family can call. Mr. Baxter, I'm not Mr. Baxter, okay? Mr. Baxter is my younger partner who looks much younger than me. I am Charles Cook. The firm is called Cook, me, Baxter. Get it? So I'm not Mr. Baxter. Can I get it for my son who has a condition? What do you mean he has a condition? You can get green cards for your son when he's 21. That's it. But you make sure you have a legal entry. So if DACA, make sure you get your advanced parole and travel if you don't have a legal entry. Martha, I think comments. Oh, okay, everybody answered this. Casa, that's I never know that, bounty hunters. Casas recompensas. Compensated houses. That's an interesting name. Wendy, I will go. Oh, yeah, I already asked that question. Mariana, of course this is live. Do you think this is not live? Is this live? Yes, it's live. DACA holder, they're pending. Any chance of being detained by ICE? No, not if you have DACA. Not going to be detained. Yes, lawyer in Virginia, in Northern Virginia, you want to go to Ava Banash, Benach, Ava Banash. Best lawyer in Virginia. She's fantastic and intimidatingly fantastic. That's how fantastic she is. Andrew McKenna, is it even legal for ICE agents to cover their face? Personally, I don't see how it is, but I don't know. That's not my area of expertise. Any updates on visa backlog article? Thank you, Fran, for reminding me that I hadn't written it yet. All right, I'll work on it tomorrow. All right, I'll work on it tomorrow and Friday. Thank you, my friend. Filing I-130 tomorrow. Been married to a citizen for 8 years. How long does it take to get it runs? Well, we've had many. Well, I-130, are you adjusting with it? File 45 as well? An I-130 is going to take 12 to 16 months. But if you file with a 45 because you're going to adjust status, that might take 6 months. We've got some really popping along right now. We're going to be able to reside there, but drive. Yeah, you can work in Texas. Although Texas employers are told not to recognize, as I recall it, a DACA EAD as valid, which I don't now see how that doesn't violate the Constitution, but that's just me. Do I need to disclose a speeding ticket? Somebody said, yeah. I disclose everything. I think it's just better to disclose it, proof you paid it. Oh, attorney, how safe is travel North Carolina with new Veto 813? Where does a Veto 813? Veto 8. That's a backpack. A Veto 813. You're talking about like a North Carolina 813. What is that? 813. Oh, that's Senate Bill 813. I don't know what that is. You got me. I don't know what that is. How long AP taking? 4 to 6 months right now. How is the naturalization process? It's the same as it hasn't changed. Naturalization has not changed at all. So you're not in New Jersey. Well, I am from New Jersey. All right. So I was born in North Bergen, grew up in North Bergen, North Arlington. So, inside I'm Jersey, but our clients are all over the country. So we'd be happy to help. Arlie Prado, I was charged with CIMT 15 years ago during a raid. ICE gave me parole and was for 3 it counts as entry. I have a DACA, now a daughter. If you left the country and came back in and you don't have a deportation order, yeah. I would need to find out what your CIMT was. So, really, this is the exact kind of case that you need to call for a Zoom consult. That's what you need to do. You need to call for a Zoom consult. Got 3 more questions. Can you file for OPT when you have an EAD? Yes. I mean, what's your EAD? Yeah, you can have both at the same time. So can I apply for advanced parole with DACA? Yeah, of course. In Texas, you can still do that. Robert Mayorga, there is Yvonne answered. Is that what he said? I said 4 to 6 months. Attorney, thank you for your time. I've bought it for Jersey. Oh, you already asked that question. How long are the renewals for DACA taking? I mean, reports I'm saying can be days. Others are taking 9 months. There's no rhyme or reason to them. Can you file for OPT while you have work? Yes, you can. Roxanne, I have a U visa, work permit, and DACA work permit. My DACA work permit expires, but my work tried 4 years. I 100% renew your DACA. Renew your DACA because they're not recognizing the deferred action from U visa. Renew your DACA. There you go. Let's see. Tengo permiso de trabajo categoría C14, pero no me ha llegado la aprobación del visa. Tengo un hijo ciudadano de 24 años. Sería mejor aplicar solamente si entraste con visa. All right. B, thanks, I get. Okay. ¿Qué tan seguro para obtener residencia por medio de matrimonio con ciudadano? How sure is it you get a green card through marriage? Well, if it's a good marriage, it's great. You're going to get it 100%. I've never seen one denied unless it's not a real marriage. That is great, Katie. I'm glad I think you can do that. I have colleagues that don't think you can do that, but I think you can do that. Congratulations. Buenas tardes, abogado. ¿Qué debo contestar si me detiene ICE o si yo tengo DACA? You tell them you have DACA. I have DACA. So they will not detain you with DACA. They won't unless you've committed some criminal act of some kind. Do you represent people? Yes, I represent people all over the country. Happy to do it. Love to do it. It's all online. Happy to do that. You're helping me get my green card. Yeah, awesome. Congratulations. You're good. And you do not have to change your last name. But if you want to get a new card with your last name, that does cost $540. So, let's see. My approved AP as my middle name. My doctor, you're fine. There'll be no issues coming back. Hola, abogado. Una pregunta que está pasando con las aplicaciones nuevas de DACA. Mira lo que dije en la primera parte del video. Disculpe, doctor. Otra pregunta. Si un empleador le pide a una persona que en DACA, ¿cuánto tiempo demora para tener su residencia? Ahorita 4 a 6 años. How long does it take for an employer-sponsored DACA recipient for a green card? Right now, it's 4 to 6 months. I applied for advance parole. I came back. Can I reopen my removal order and adjust my status required? Absolutely, you can do that. That's what we do all day long. You're welcome, Yvonne. My pleasure to help you. Nelly, conditional green card. My husband and I want to go to Mexico because it was late. So yeah, safe for you to go. Yeah, you're fine. You'll be fine. You'll have a great time. Have a great time. You'll be absolutely fine. Senor Chuck, gracias. No hay de qué, Miguel. My husband has been waiting 8 months for cancellation, deportation. Why is it so slow? Cancel. So he's in immigration proceedings and he has waiting 8 months for hearing. That's not slow. And I got people waiting 9 years for hearing. Can I travel with my undocumented mother-in-law and wife and child? I have DACA. Honestly, I wouldn't bring your mother-in-law. Not in San Antonio. I wouldn't travel anywhere in a car with anybody who's undocumented because you go through a checkpoint and arrest you for transporting. So don't do that. Sorry. I'm a permanent resident. Recently updated my address. Looking a year ago. I said, my wife. Separating from your wife is not a deportable offense. If it was, we'd be deporting a lot of people. No, I don't know if that's your question. That's the way it comes across. Is trespassing misdemeanor or deportable offense? It is a misdemeanor, and generally it's not a deportable offense. Have you heard of the Norwegian tour? I did hear the Norwegian tour. It's an ugly meme. Turns out he also admitted using drugs frequently. So there was that, which is probably the real reason. Who do you recommend to see in California in the IE area? The Inner Empire area. That's a good question. Most of the guys I know are in LA. Victor Nieblas, Ana Luisa Padilla. Off the top of my head, I don't have anybody in Inner Empire, but if you email me, I'll find somebody that I trust. Just wondering the updates for DACA, and I've spent a whole 5 minutes on that. Gracias, abogado. You're welcome. Taylor Lynn. Taylor, how are you? How can you tell someone's actual eyesight? Well, you can't. That's the problem when they mask themselves and refuse to show you a badge and refuse to give you a badge number. I don't see how this is legal. I'm waiting for the motions to suppress that'll be coming down here. Attorney, my husband passed away this March. I'm so sorry. I have a legal entry. Oh, then you can file a widow petition, Adriana. I'm so sorry about your husband. You can file a widow petition. Call us. We'll help you with this. This is what we do. A citizen of the U.S. gets married with a Mexican citizen. What's the time frame to get them a residency? Well, it depends. Do they have a legal entry? Then it's 6 to 12 months. They don't have a legal entry. It's 4 to 6 years. For DACA, can we travel with any certified English-speaking class? Yeah, you're fine. Have a great time. That works. Education almost always works. Do you think there's a change? Judge Hannon never rules. Is there a chance? Yeah, but there's going to start to be political pressure soon. And that's really what the Republican Democrats are terrible at. Trump is really great at this, putting pressure on judges. Republican Democrats, it's horrible. Well, maybe they need to do it. Any lawyer recognition in Illinois? Well, what part of Illinois? If you're in Chicago, You want to call Carlina Tapia Ruano. Carlina Tapia Ruano. She is a goddess. I love Carlina. Extraordinary lawyer. Carlina Tapia Ruano. I have DACA, and I'm waiting for my A1 interview. No criminal record, anything like that. And I did advance parole. So you recommend? You don't need a lawyer to interview. You're fine. And the lawyers recommended in Dallas. Sarah Brown. Sarah Brown is excellent lawyer in Dallas, and one whom I admire a great deal. How is the deportation order termination working now this administration? Well, again, it depends on the case. So we've still won most of them. We lost a couple, but they were kind of weird cases. So generally, okay. For minors who got in absentia is what I'm talking about. Yahaira, how are you doing? Traveling with AP, your married name, you're fine. No problems. You're not going to be a problem coming back. And bring your marriage certificate with you, by the way. Saludos, como sea, familia Villeda Rubio. Can I read my removal order and adjust the green card? It depends. I mean, you don't give me enough facts. This is why we do consults. So you're going to call for a consult. I'm going to put the number up here at the end. Mi esposo tiene cancelación de deportación. Yo soy residente. Puedo pedirlo al mismo tiempo. Well, I mean, puede pedirlo, pero si no entró con visa, no puede hacer nada por él aquí. Tendrá que salir del país. So she's asking, her husband's filing for cancellation removal. She's a resident. Can she sponsor him? Yeah, but he's got to leave the country to get a green card. Natalie, good to see you. And he started pushing USS EBAOS. So I'm already submitting. If they're still within their normal time, there's nothing you can do. If they're beyond the normal, you sue them. You're welcome, Liliana. Andy, I have a deportation order. If one has a deportation order and is traveling, yes, absolutely. If they're married to a citizen or they have a child who's 21, we do these all the time. Call for an appointment. My DACA expired over a year ago. I thought, well, you can file once they reopen for filing. I can't believe you let that expire. LA lawyer, yeah, that would be Victor Nieblas or Ana Luisa Padilla. Both of them are excellent, excellent. 4 to 6 months or years for employer to sponsor DACA. Years, minimum, years. How many days before your AP expires you recommend to come back? Well, at least one. Don't come back the day it expires, and certainly don't come back after, as somebody tried to do a couple of years ago. Got stuck out of the country for about 8 months. My partner has a big judgment in court. If we get married, can they come and take my home? Depends on the state you're in. You might want to enter a prenuptial agreement so that you aren't liable for his obligations. But yeah, you might want to keep your assets separate as well, so that yours cannot be seized. Okay. How do I go about changing my document to married name? Which document? Your green card? You file a form I-90 and pay them $540. How many times can I apply for citizenship? Well, if you failed once, you get an automatic retest. After that, you can keep applying till you do it. I have plans to apply for naturalization after removing conditions. I will lose my you will not lose. Mexico and the U.S. both allow for dual citizenship. U.S. citizen, I submitted my husband's I-130 April 2024. Stopped working as I get pregnant. Is this going to? No, it will not affect your husband. You're fine. Natalie, recommendation for attorney in Maryland area. If it's removal defense, then I would talk to Ava Banach because she's actually in D.C. Ava, B-E-N-A-C-H, Ava, A-V-A. Fantastic law firm, great lawyers, really wonderful. I think my answer got skipped, but I-130 took 14 and a half months. Yeah, that's not probably. Again, I'm thinking 12 to 16 months. Not to be a panic, pal, but should people waiting on DACA actually wait, or should they seek another option? Well, do you have another option? You should always pursue as many options as you can. Lawyer, King of Prussia. Well, King of Prussia, the closest one I know is in Philadelphia. And that's Bill Stock. Bill Stock is fantastic. Good friend of mine for 30 years. Really one of the best lawyers in America. Just a terrific guy, terrific lawyer. Great law firm called Clasco. My mom wants to fix through my 21-year-old brother. Did she enter with a visa? She entered with a visa, then it takes like 6 to 10 months. She didn't enter with a visa, then it takes forever because she's not getting a green card without leaving the country for 10 years. I have a U visa work permit, but my DACA expires, and USCIS takes forever to approve my DACA. Does that mean it actually means you're out of status? Yes, you're illegal. Don't get caught. My mom wants to fix through my 21-year-old brother. You already answered that. My husband has an ICE check-in. Yes, the lawyer should go to the check-in. Absolutely. Immigration lawyers in Florida. Florida is a big state. If you're in South Florida, you want to go to Jeff DeVore, D-E-V-O-R-E. He's fantastic. All of South Florida he covers. In Orlando, you want to go to Ksenia Mayorova, M-A-I-R-V-O-A. Mairova, 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 Mairova. She's fantastic. But Jeff DeVore in South Florida. En mi application para la visa se puso que mi entrada había sido en junio de 27. Okay. What immigration attorney in North Carolina? North Carolina, you got, and if you're in Charlotte, you probably want to go to Jeremy McKinney. Jeremy McKinney is former president of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, like I am, and an excellent lawyer. Really good, especially on removal stuff and DACA stuff. Very, 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 very good. Alguien que tiene residencia puede viajar, por ejemplo, a México o regresar sin problemas en el mes que viene. Yeah, está bien. Ningún problema. Hello, abogado. How you been? Uriel, good to see you. If I have DACA, yes, if you got DACA before you were 18 and a half, or you have a mom or dad who's a resident or citizen, you're welcome, Betty. Any way to get perm approval faster than 500 days? Nope. What do you think is the Dignidad Programa? I think it's a joke. Es un chiste. Can I apply for a U visa while hit and run? If the person's charged, probably not. I don't think we've had success with those. Chicago, once again, is Carlina Tapia Ruano. She's fantastic. And the last one today, EB3 backlogs data. I don't think it's going to move the rest of the year, but I'm going to get my blog done. I promise. Hey, it's been great talking to everybody. Remember, if you want to reach out to me, my number is 404-816-8611. Let's make that a little bit bigger for you folks in the back. So you can call 404-816-8611. You make an appointment. We do them by Zoom. Zoom's the best way to do an appointment. Absolutely the best way to do the appointment. You can also email me. As everybody who ever emailed me know, I always respond to my emails. So I can respond to your emails. Happy to answer you. And of course, at ccook@immigration.net. And of course, CKUCK on Twitter, ccook on Twitter. Happy to see you on the Twitter machine. And finally, our website has, I think, 2,000 pages of information on immigration, www.immigration.net. Again, I'm Charles Cook. I'm the founding partner here at Cook Baxter, and I will see you next week on Wednesday at 1 o'clock live, unless the Supreme Court comes out with its birth citizenship decision, and I will start talking then. You all guys have a great day. Bye-bye.